Yeah, amazing evening once again. Welcome back to the channel. It feels so delightful to see you guys again live on YouTube and Facebook. Anybody watching me from YouTube and Facebook, then hi guys. So welcome back to all of you guys again in this Umeed campaign for COVID, a live learning experience session. And today's speaker who is gonna join with us ये बहुत ही खास है और ये बहुत ही खूबसूरत है और ये बहुत ही दिल का बहुत ही what I would say I have no words to explain to you guys. वो कुछ ही देर में हमें join करने वाले हैं. Till then, let me tell you a little about myself and a little about this Umeed campaign for COVID. Anybody watching me here for the first time? Okay. Anybody watching me here for the first time, let me just introduce myself. Namaste, hello, vanakkam, sat sri akal. My name is Honya and I am a solo travel blogger on YouTube. So I basically make videos on tourism, tribal lifestyle, culture. I love to explore and visit unexplored places and film stories on tribal lifestyle, culture, food, and there, what you can say, there's some hidden stories, I would say. But due to the coronavirus pandemic, the travel isn't possible, and what I felt is that the entire world and the entire people, they are facing such challenging times. So I thought, why not I make this ये छोटा सा जो प्लेटफॉर्म है मेरा, इसे मैं खुशी, पॉजिटिविटी, हैप्पीनेस, लव, कंपैशन ये स्प्रेड करने के लिए मैं इसे थोड़ा सा यूज करूं. So that is the reason we have come up with Umeed campaign for COVID in collaboration with freebirds.co. So whatever you guys are able to see, the screen, the live session, the behind the scene work, all the Freebirds team are there working so tremendously. So a big thank you to Freebirds team. And also for Umeed campaign for COVID, what we are doing is that we just don't want कि हम सब donation raise करें. We want that whoever is watching this live session, they learn, they take back some learning, they take back some positivity, some you can say some happiness out of the entire session, and they feel good from inside, like, you know. So that is the reason we have come up with learning, exciting learning experience for you all. Live with speakers across India, and so many speakers are gonna come up. Till then, please do support Umeed, and please do also possibly whichever possible amount you can, please do donate it to Umeed campaign for COVID. It would mean a lot. It would encourage us to do such more sessions for you all and help the needy people. So soon the time has come to introduce our today's speaker of Umeed campaign for COVID in collaboration with freebirds.co, and here she is. You look so pretty, Tinat.
I wore this for you. I wore this specially for you.
I mean, you look so pretty. I'm not even kidding. I was like, oh my god, I would have worn some makeup. I came so pale.
Sorry?
I came so ekdam simple se na, but
you look so beautiful. You look so beautiful, just like that. I like what you're wearing. Is that a special chain that you're wearing? What is this you're wearing?
Oh, this is absolutely a traditional ornament.
Okay.
Traditional ornament of Wancho tribe, which is known as the headhunters of Arunachal.
Okay, wow.
So I got myself a headband that I wore it in this Punjab, the rapping wala session.
I love that.
And today I'm wearing it.
I love that.
I hope you watched that rapping wala session, no?
Yes.
So finally, I am so happy for anybody, the audience who have joined right now with us. Thank you so much and welcome you all again back to Umeed campaign for COVID, a live learning session with Tinat. And let me tell you a little about Tinat from my side. All the seniors is gonna come out and share beautiful stories. All right. Beautiful stories with you all. So let me tell you a little about Tinat. So Tinat is an ideator, entrepreneur and motivational speaker. She was awarded as the Youth Icon of India in 2013 and the Nari Shakti Award in 2018. She is proud to have carried the mantle as the president of 2016-2017 for Rotary Club of Guwahati, the second woman to lead the oldest club in the city. And we gonna talk more about Tinat, पर इसके आगे बढ़ने से पहले I would love to thank Tinat and welcome back to the Umeed Campaign for COVID live learning experience session. Would you like to say something to the audience today, Tinat?
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Honia. Thank you for inviting me. And you've been doing wonderful work. First, I must tell the audience that the kind of work that you are doing is absolutely it's a blessing to know you, in fact, that you're doing such amazing work. And I wouldn't have thought about it. You being such a young gem of a person, and you're thinking about working and collecting donations for the COVID patients. This is something, such a wonderful idea during during this times. You know, this pandemic time is giving us a lot to think about, and I think you have got the best idea. Honia has got the best idea, and
Yes.
I've been loving all your shows. I've been really, really appreciating each and every show that you've come up with. And you know what? The best part about you is the smile that you have and the laughter that you have is like, it's like adrenaline for me, you know. When I was talking to you, I was feeling so refreshed when I heard you laughing. And finally, I get to see you. Actually, I've been seeing you all this time, but me seeing you personally is really great. And for the audience who's watching, this Umeed program is really beautiful. It's Umeed means hope, and that is what we always keep saying. We live with hope. We live on hope, and hope is what we are looking at when we look at Honia's program. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at hope from all of you because we want you to donate towards this cause. It's a wonderful cause, and she is in association with freebirds.co. This is again a wonderful group of people who are they are doing all this work. They are a gem. These people are geniuses, the ones who are working in freebirds.co. So Honia and Freebirds together, they have come up with Umeed. And for the audience, please donate in whichever way you can. I think Honia said it in advance before me that you can donate whichever small amount. A small amount means it goes a long way. Yes.
I think like thank you so much, Tina. I think the gratitude is so mutual between both of us because we had our previous own story behind this, whatever it is happening, and we had met through some online classes,
Yes.
and that is the reason we could never ever meet like that. You know, this is actually happening for the first time, but the way we had always like a conversation, it was always very lively. And I would
Yes.
always say that, oh, Tina, she is so sweet. And one thing I would just like to do, tell to the audience is just many of the people they have joined. I will just take up few names. Tina, they have all joined us and are sending their love and blessings to us. So
Wow.
there is Nems now. Nems now is saying hi, Honya, hi. Mitti Ke Rang is saying good evening, Miss. Anshul Dogra. That is Mamung Thage. That is DK Killer. Good job, 100%. Okay, what a name. So I remember Tina, like when I approached freebirds.co to start this campaign, like Umeed for campaign for COVID, I remember that there was a certain question inside my mind that there are so many influencers who have, so many reach, like being have a very small platform that I've been having, like how I did not think about how many people I would be reaching off, and so blessedly I've been reaching so many people, and I've been so thankful for that. I just remembered and reminded myself that even if I'm able to help one or two people and would be able to feed them, I think like I would be blessed to do that. And I think the same thing I shared with the freebursteam.co, and they were so helpful and they were so empathizing, and I can't be so grateful to them whatever it is happening is all because of, I think, like because of freebirds.co, and I would love to send gratitude to them. And I think like both of us, we
Yes,
are
me too.
together today talking to them all.
I love the Freebirds team, each one of them. I love all of them that they are there. They are such passionate people. They're passionate young people. And if you have come up with this fantastic campaign, and I'm sure they're going to be with you. So obviously they have
Yeah,
to be with
definitely,
you.
definitely. So, the people who wanted to make a contribution to Umeed campaign for COVID, then please go to the link in the description. You can find the link for the donation over here, and please donate whichever possible amount you can. Please, 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 guys. So, without wasting time, let's get into today's session. Today's session, Tina is she is also a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and so many things all together, an actor and director, so many things. So we are gonna talk about her journey, and also she's gonna talk about some motivational and her own personal stories and about the mental health. This is so much important in this coronavirus pandemic. So Tina, like I would just like to request you to please tell to the audience from your side, like from about yourself to the audience.
Okay, let me start from the very beginning. I was born in Shillong and I grew up there. So I love calling myself a Shillong girl. I love people from Shillong, and so I grew up with a lot of love and a lot of sharing and caring and with a lot of passionate people. My best friend was a Khasi girl. So my schooling also was very wonderful there. It was in Loreto. I grew up there. And if you ask me, where did you get your acting skills from? Because I did a lot of acting when I was a young girl. I haven't been doing a lot of acting recently. So I actually got it from school because I remember my Irish sisters used to give me beautiful lessons. I remember there was one sister, Rita, and she used to come and she used to say, Tinat, there is a poetry competition. You have to join. And I used to run from her because she used to teach us on how to do pronounce our what's and where. And it's not like, we say, what is your name? She would say, what is your name? And we would be so scared. Oh my God, I don't want to learn all this now. Please, it's so boring, So, but she actually taught us how to pronounce properly, how to have good diction. And I think I really thank Sister Rita, because if I'm speaking nicely to you, if I'm speaking English with good pronunciation, it is because of my Irish sisters back in school in Loreto Convent. Then, I came to Guwahati. And after I came to Guwahati, I always had this great urge to act in radio. And because I had been listening to the radio, because that time we did not have, phones, or we did not have anything. We just had tape recorders. You are too young to know about a tape recorder. You might have seen it. I don't know, but I think you're too young to see a tape recorder. We had those, the tape recorder, the cassettes with spools, and so those were the ones we had. So when I came to Guwahati, I wanted to get into the radio station and do some acting. But growing up in Shillong, I was, Angrez ka aulad. You know what is Angrez ka aulad? I was speaking only English, and my own mother tongue was not coming as fluently. So when I went to the radio station, and the funny thing, I'll tell you, the funny story that happened was, I went and they gave me a script which was Xeroxed for God knows how many, since the Stone Age, I think. And it was almost, rubbing off. Everything was disappearing. All the letters were disappearing. It was in Assamese. So I was trying to read very hard, and I was saying, oh my God, I can't read a single word. I can't read a single letter. How will I go and give my audition? There was one gentleman out there, very senior gentleman, and he said, Tina, don't do it. Don't make this mistake of coming and speaking in Assamese here. You are an Angrez ka aulad. You should not be doing this. But I still insisted that since I was interested in acting, I said I wanted to go do it. So I went to the radio station, and it was a scary thing. It was just one room, and I was sitting there with a microphone. There was nobody there except for the sound of the judges coming in from some other room over the speakers. And as I started speaking, I spoke very horribly, horrible. Honia, I can tell you, it was the worst audition in my life. And I spoke, and all the words that came through, there was except one script where I was really good, where the script was about a drunk lady and she's in a party. So, that I could do very well. Hey, hello. So, things like that, I could do that. But when it came to a more rural scene in Assam, and where the language was like that, I couldn't do anything. So when I tried doing it, the judges from inside said, Tinat, Atifa, Masood, please learn your Assamese properly and come back and try again. I was so embarrassed. My ears were red, my face became red. I went out, and then that senior person from the radio station said, see, I told you, you should not have, come and given this audition. And I said, look, you know what? You are telling me that I will not be able to do anything in Assamese, and you call me an Angrez ka aulad just because I studied in Shillong and you think that I can only speak in English? Absolutely not. I am going to do a script. I'm going to do a play. I'm going to act in Assamese. I'm going to speak all my dialogues in Assamese, and I'm going to invite all of you. I said that to them. And that was a kind of a challenge I had, and I said, what the hell? Why wouldn't I be able to speak in my mother tongue? What rubbish is this? Mother tongue is my mother tongue. I need to do this. So I got down, I started working hard on myself, and I said, I have to do this. So finally, when I was actually doing a play in Rabindra Bhavan, one of the auditoriums here, I invited them. I invited the people from the radio station, and I said, you must come and see this. You said I will never be able to do anything in Assamese. There it is now. I've done it. So that was one challenge I took in life. And then straight after I came from Shillong, I was given a serial, a 13-episode serial for Doordarshan, where I had to do the role of a very notorious character because of my looks. I always get a negative role. I never get a positive role. I never get mushy romantic roles. I always get very negative roles, like getting hold of somebody's boyfriend, catching hold of somebody's man, sometimes things like that. So roles like that. So I did a wonderful serial, and it was Tezal Ghura, that Assamese serial. And believe me, Honia, the kind of problems I had, I remember one shot I did for 35 times. 35 times because I could not say, we have in Assamese ho, and we have to say it from the epiglottis. We have to say ho or ho, simple, ho. But I couldn't say it from here. I just said ho, and then the director said, "Where are you from? From which part of the country are you? Are you from England or something that you can't speak Assamese properly?" And I almost cried because I did that shot for 35 times in the sun, and I fainted. I fainted in the sun because I did it for 35 times, but I got it correct. After that, when I went up, I splashed my face, I got fresh, I did it again. So, these are the kind of stories I have. I have lots and lots of stories, I tell you, lots of them. Yeah.
I think this story that you have shared, the one very good, the lesson that I could learn from you, and I could personally relate the kind of stories that you have said with mine, I would say. And the one beautiful lesson that I got is, no matter how much the things is so tough and the things are so difficult, until unless you give up, until unless you keep on trying to improve and bring out the better version of yourself,
Yes.
you are always there, you are always on. So the moment we say, so there are so many people around us who always tries to pull us down, just like the radio one that you have shared, and then you invited them, like you guys told that मैं कभी नहीं कर सकते, and then you showed them, right? I think that those are the people who always motivate us. And the concept of today's session, like Umeed, motivation and mental health, is something, this is one of the beautiful example. Like the negative people in and around us, if we start taking those criticism in a very positive way, then it becomes a blessing to us. So how this is so beautiful, Tina. And I think moving on to the main topic of today's like motivation and mental health. I'm gonna ask
Wow.
so much about the love life, the relationship, the real partner, the career, fear, so many things about to you about such kind of topics to you, Tina. So meanwhile, I just received one question. Before
Okay.
getting into the question, I would just like to tell people that Tina, she is also a motivational speaker, and also she runs an NGO as well. Like her
Yes.
NGO name is Consortium of International Minds,
International
and she
minds.
reaches out to the she reaches out to the young people and then train them. And would you like to tell anything about your hallmark? That's like I am the best. Like what does it mean? What made you to
Sure.
come up with this hallmark? Like I am the best.
I'll tell you. This was in 2009, actually. And in 2009, what happened is that um, I had become very depressed, very, very depressed, so depressed that Honia, I wanted to go and kill myself. I wanted to actually ram my car somewhere. I drive. So I was thinking I'll speed my car, I'll go and ram it somewhere, or maybe, jump over the Horaighat bridge or kill myself, things like that. And I was very depressed, but I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't have a friend who I could say, and if I told my husband would say, "Oh, come on, you're not the last person, you're not the first person to have depression. Get a life, yeah. Do something else to divert yourself. Listen to some music, do some painting, write, do something." So I did not have a friend who wanted to listen to the pain that I was going through. I was going through a lot of pain, and I wanted somebody to actually listen to me, and I didn't have anyone. So the only thing I thought of was, okay, let me go kill myself. Let me go kill myself. But let me tell you the other part of the story is that why I wanted to kill myself. In 2006, I had just given birth to my son. And my son came into my life after many years, after many years of anticipating and waiting for a child. I love children. So when I was not having a child, I was always thinking that, oh, maybe I'm not going to have a child ever. So I decided that, okay, maybe God has a different plan for me. Maybe God wants me to, work for other children. I thought of it like that. And then, but I got my child. So 2006, my child was born and I was very happy. But 2009, I realized that I had grown so fat by the time that nobody was calling me to stage. I'm a stage person. I love being on stage. I love acting. I love anchoring. And this year, I think, is my 31st year in anchoring. So 31 years I've been anchoring on stage. I've loved doing all stage work. So suddenly people were not calling me. Why? Because Tinat has grown very fat. And they were calling other women, they were calling other girls, and they were calling. I said, what's going on? Why aren't they calling me? I think this is the end of my life because I love being on stage. And when they were not inviting me, I said, okay, this is the end of my life. I need to end my life now. But look at me, Honia. My son was born 2006, 2006, 7, 8, 9. He was just maybe 3 years old. He was just 3 years old. And can you imagine this selfish woman sitting in front of you? She's telling you a story about how she was just thinking about herself. She was just thinking about her depression. She was just thinking about her sadness. She was just thinking about her fatness. And she was thinking about the career she was not having, but she was not thinking about the little boy who would miss his mother if she did something drastic as going and killing herself. She never thought about that. But, Honia, what happened just at the nick of time? I got a friend. You know who the friend was? It was a book. And the name of the book was Stop Worrying, Start Living by Dale Carnegie. And I read this book and I realized that all the problems that we think of and all the worries that we have is actually nothing. We are actually building up a lot of mountains out of molehills, and we are actually thinking that this problem is more important for me. But then we're not thinking about the people who love us. If I die, what is going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to my mom and dad? What's going to happen to my husband? What's going to happen to my child? Nobody thinks. When a person goes off to commit suicide or wants to go and kill himself or herself, nobody thinks what's going to happen to all those people who love her or him. I wasn't thinking. My head was not working okay. When I got that book saved me. And in 2010, it was a new me. On the 1st of January 2010, I was reborn. I have many stories of rebirth, I will have to tell you. But 2010, on the 1st of January, I was reborn and I have not looked back since then. So when you ask me, so Tina, how did the concept of I am the best come about? So in 2010, I was speaking to a friend of mine. I told him, you know what? In 2009, I wanted to kill myself. You know what he told me? He said, Tina, never do that. Your life is so beautiful. Each and every person's life is so beautiful. You are unique. God has made you so beautifully. God has made you so uniquely. Honia is different. Tinath is different. Someone else is different. XYZ is different. And each person has a blueprint that God has created so specially, but we fail to understand that. We fail to see the beauty of this beautiful blueprint and we want to take our lives. And that is when he said, you are the best. Get up each morning, look at your eyes, look at your beautiful face, touch yourself, touch your whole body, and say, I am the best. And that is when my whole concept called I am the best came about. And I said, I need to share this with everybody. I need to share it with young people, with old people, with teachers, with students, with everyone. I need to go and share my whole life with people. And that is when I am the best started. And I am the best has gone on. And people have started accepting it. So every day when there are people who call me up from Delhi, from Gurgaon, and from different places. They are my students. And they said, ma'am, remember you taught us I am the best? I get up in the morning, look at myself, and I back myself and I say, I am the best. So, Honia, you can do this now. Put out your right hand. Put out your
I'm
right
the best.
hand. Yes, I am the best. I am the best.
I am the best.
Yes, you are the best. You are the best.
That's
And
beautiful. That's beautiful.
each one of us watching this program, they are the best because if the people who are watching this program, if you look at your thumbprint, the print out here, and you look at your friend or you look at your mothers or your fathers or your brothers, your sisters, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, this is completely different from each human being. There is a difference in this fingerprint which says that you are unique. What Honia can do, I cannot do. What I can do, Honia cannot do. Maybe she can do, but she cannot do the way I do it. I cannot do the things that you are doing. You are doing Umeed. I would have never thought of this. Look at you. You are bringing hope to people's hearts by doing Umeed. This campaign itself is so beautiful. So each one of us has such beautiful things inside us. So I realize when I tell people that you are the best, first they are saying, no, no, no. You know what, ma'am? My nose thoda sa beka hai. No, no, my hair is not like Katrina. My body is not like Salman. I said, excuse me, can you behave like your own self? Instead of being like Salman, instead of being like Arnold Schwarzenegger or whoever it is you're looking at, can you just be yourself, please? Can you just be Tinat? Can you just be Honia? Can you just be XYZ? Whoever you are, be proud of yourself. Being proud of yourself and being super loving about yourself is the best part about being alive. And then every morning,
Yeah.
even now, when I write it in my diary, every day I have these short term goals, my daily goals, and the first thing that I write is go to the mirror and say I am the best. Even though I do it, it's a natural thing, but I still tell myself to do it in case I forget. So Honia, I would like you also to go to in the morning, look at your beautiful face and say I am the best. Look at your hug yourself, give yourself a pat and say I am the best.
Yeah.
You'll feel so good about it. You'll feel so good about it, I'm telling you. So that campaign, that entire thing has started, and my deep desire, my very, very deep desire, my wish, my motive, and you can say it's a mission, my life mission is to work for the young people. Because when I look back And I say, wow, we did not get this kind of, motivation. We did not get this kind of a push. We did not get this sort of inspiration. So why can't I be a catalyst for young people to become better leaders for the future? So when you tell me that I have an NGO, Consortium of International Minds, I always tell young people, be local, but think international. Be local, but
Hmm.
think global. Because when you are local,
Hmm.
you're a local person. But your behavior,
Hmm.
the way you talk, the way you emote, the way you talk to other people and behave and everything. Let us be international. How would you go if suppose you're going to Singapore? Would you throw a piece of paper there? You won't, because you know you're going to be fined for that. But here we throw a piece of paper
Hmm.
because we know we are not going to be fined. So why can't we behave like an international
Hmm.
citizen? I want my young
Hmm.
people, whenever I make my videos for young people, every Sunday I make a video. I want my young people to take even 1%, even if they take 1% of what I say. Honia, my life mission is accomplished. I really feel so happy and I feel
Yeah.
so grateful to God. Even when people give me back calls and say, "Ma'am, I'm the best." I said, "Of course you're the best. You are the best, and you're going to be the best always. So keep up the dream." This is how I'm the best has happened, Honia.
That's so beautiful, right? And I think like the way you have said, even people if they take 1% of what I am delivering to them, your mission is accomplished. And I think like this is so resonate with the purpose of Umeed campaign for COVID. Like if I'm able to help even like 1% or even like 2%, I think I would be blessed to do that. And the entire story is so enchanting, and I would say the people actually got so mesmerized by your personal stories, and they dropped some beautiful questions. Like I would like to take up one question taken asked by Anshul Dogra. So Anshul Dogra, he is asking how to maintain intrinsic internal motivation for long run.
Intrinsic
How to
motivation.
maintain, या इंटरनल मोटिवेशन फॉर लॉन्ग रन में हम खुद को कैसे मोटिवेट रखें.
Okay. So that's a lovely question. That's a beautiful question. In fact, this is where we think that, okay, I'm doing this today. Will I stay motivated tomorrow to do this as well? But then, if you have the zeal, I always think that, see, recently I've been taking a challenge to lose weight. During this COVID time, during these holiday, I always call this a COVID holiday that we are having, that, the pandemic is actually a holiday for us. And we're getting so much time to understand ourselves internally. And then to stay motivated and on top class, you have to keep challenging yourself all the time. And the competition is not with others. When you are having a competition with other people, when he has asked a beautiful question, how will I stay motivated forever? Because I always keep telling my young people, the competition is with yourself. Today, I ran 1 kilometer. Tomorrow, I'm going to run 2 kilometers. So that is going to make you wake up early in the morning. If you're doing your exercise early in the morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to say, okay, I need to run 2 kilometers today. I promised myself yesterday. When you promise yourself, when you tell yourself, yes, this is how I'm going to do it, I think that is how you can, talk to yourself and keep that motivation high. That is what I keep doing all the time. I keep talking to myself that, look, Tina, you ran 3 kilometers last year in Pinkathon. This year it's 5 kilometers. And if I'm going to run 5 kilometers in November, I am already running from January. No, I did not. I wasn't running from January. I was walking from January because I was unable to do that. That is another story I have to tell you why I was walking. So, but then now I have started running at least up to 4 kilometers, and I'm going to achieve that 5 kilometers. I know it. I know that I'm going to achieve that 5 kilometers in November if God, everything goes well, and and the pandemic is over. We'll be running the Pinkathon again, and I'll be doing that 5 kilometer marathon.
Yeah, I think like Anshul, आपको कैसा
I
लगा?
hope.
Any question you have to ask Rutina, then please drop it down. And also, I have one more question regarding the depression and the failure. I think like this is a really good way how do we proceed towards the concept of mental health. and the mental health, the depression, the fear of failure, the fear of our career, the fear of accepting someone in our life. This is, I think, like many of the people, they are going through it, and there is insecurity, there is inferior complexions. So, Tina, how would you like to define mental health?
Mental health is a state of mind. I think, we all need to work towards mental health. And to work towards mental health, we say that when I told you that I was depressed in 2009 and I didn't have anybody to talk to, I think um, at this moment, during these times, I've got so many calls, people telling me that, ma'am, I'm feeling very mentally depressed. I'm not feeling okay.
Mm,
And I take out time to talk to my students, to my friends, because if I am not giving them time, then my
mm,
motive to actually make them leaders is not happening.
mm.
He's asking what is mental
Yeah.
health. Mental health is about loving yourself. It is about this journey which you create by nurturing your needs, the needs of your own system all the time. How you talk with yourself, how you love with yourself. Honia, you must have taken the flight to different places, and the air hostess always says one thing: please put on your mask. Please put on your mask first when there is a drop in the energy in the cabin. Please put on your mask first, and then help others. In mental health
Mm,
also, please help yourself first. Loving yourself. Every day you should keep loving yourself. There are people who say, oh no, I'm a very bad person, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm this. And I always say, no, wait, don't say that. Never say anything negative about yourself. Never. When you start saying these
mm,
negative things about yourself, it builds up. This builds up into a mountain, and you keep saying, yeah, I think. And then, when people say, you are this, and then you start believing, and you say, I think I'm that. But when people say you are bad, but you totally believe in yourself that I'm a very good person. I'm a truthful person. I am a person who is living my life beautifully and honestly and up to the mark. Then, no, you don't have to fall into that mental health degradation trap. Mental health, again, for people who are listening to us, I think it's important to listen to your friends. Whenever they are saying,
mm,
I'm depressed, I'm sad, I need to talk to you, please keep everything aside, keep your phone aside, don't fiddle on the phone, but listen to your friend. Because nowadays we don't have good listeners. We have a lot of good speakers, but we don't have good listeners. Listeners, listen to the heart of that person. Because when we talk about listening, I think, I really feel this, that Sushant Singh would have been alive today if he would have talked to somebody. He was
mm,
a perfect person. He was such a successful person. But he had I mean, I think his mental health, I'm not making this for sure, I'm not saying this for sure, but probably he needed help in the mental health arena. He needed somebody to listen to
mm,
him. Maybe he had some problems. So we all need to listen to each other. I have friends when I speak, or sometimes just to relieve my stress, I speak all kind of rubbish. I speak about, funny things, and I speak about monkey business, and I speak about all kinds of nonsense stuff. But I have very good friends who actually give me a good ear. They say that no, she wants to actually relieve some pain which is there somewhere. She's saying all this because she's hiding some sort of pain that is inside her. So mental health, I think
mm,
each one of us need to hold hands in mental health is not something which only Honia is going to deal with, or only Tinat is going to deal with. We need to hold hands with each other when we need to have a healthy mental balance. If I want Honia to be happy, when she calls me up, I need to give her full attention.
yes,
I
that's
don't,
so
I
true.
should not be fiddling with my phone or my book or my work. Yeah, Honia, tell me, what is it? So I need to give her full attention. When we say mental health, we think it is just an isolated case. It is not. And let me tell you one thing. In India, the mental health problems were there, but we never talked about it. We are starting to talk about it now, since there are many issues which have come up. People have started talking about mental health, and even during this COVID time, you've noticed that a lot of people talking about mental health. We are all talking about mental health issues, and I think the best part would be to challenge the situation by listening to each other. When we
Yeah,
listen, when we sit over coffee, we used to have those cafe times together before all this COVID thing happened. We used to sit, we used to speak for hours and hours with friends and just speak anything we wanted. We would speak about music, we'd speak about books and writing, about movies and anything. So that is a kind of, it's a kind of stress reliever. Listen, talk, listen to your stories, hear those stories, talk about your stories. I hope this
yeah.
answers this question.
Yeah, I think like many of the people by listening to your conversation, they have brought so many questions. Like the first question is that many of the people they do not know whether they are going through some mental health problem or not,
Okay.
whether they are going through depression or not. So one person is asking, Omto is asking, is depression results of our own failure, expectation, or its rejection? And the other question someone is asking, Hanu Tamar is actually asking, at what level one should realize he or she is having depression?
Wow. Those are like questions for a psychologist or a person who's an expert. I'm not an expert in mental health, but then I think the first question was that is it like failure for the failures? Does depression happen because of failures? See, we are all.
Expectation and rejection.
Yes, yes. I think, Honia, we are all humans, and to be depressed is part of a human factor. I mean, we are all humans, so like happiness, uh, depression is also part of our system. We can be depressed. I think it's a very natural thing to be depressed. It's a very natural thing to be depressed. I mean, we can't be happy and on top of the world all the time. Every day is not a Sunday, like some people say. Every day is not sunshine. Every day is not a happiness day. We can have our depressions, but we need to address those depressions. If you are going to keep it inside yourself, and if you're going to, say, okay, I did badly in maths, okay, I lost that job, so I'm a loser, so I'm depressed. What you need to do is, I think, I'm not an expert, so I'm just saying this out of experience. I'm saying that we need to speak to somebody that, look, hello, that's like your friend today is speaking here, he's asking questions. It's very important to speak to somebody. Look, I got this problem. I'm feeling very sad and depressed. Is it going to affect me? Am I going mad? Am I going crazy? These are the questions, and ask uncomfortable questions so that your friend is going to assess that. And talk to one of your best friends. Don't talk to somebody who is who is completely unknown to you. Talk to somebody who
Yeah.
understands you. You can't go and talk to a stranger and say, hey, I've got depression, and I lost my job. So I've got this loser attitude. So do you think I'm depressed? No, somebody who will understand. And if you want to talk, see, abroad, what happens in a different country, uh, people go to psychologists, they go to psychiatrists because it is not because they have a psychiatric problem or a psychological problem. They go there just to consult and they want to find out what's happening to their lives. But here in India, if we go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, they pagal ho gaya hai. He has gone mad. That is why he has gone there. It's not like that. It is very important to visit a psychiatrist or a psychologist if you think psychologist is the next stage, but psychiatrist is the next stage, but psychologist is a person who can counsel you, who can talk to you, and who can listen to your problems. I think that's very important. And but the first stage again is talking to a good friend. You can talk to your parents about it, but parents, I think, we Indians have a fear that if we talk to our parents, they'll get very, very mortified and very scared about what's happening to their children. So I think the best thing would be to talk to a friend. I had never talked to my parents about my depression, because they would say, my God, my daughter is depressed, what's happened to her, her husband is not treating her well. So these are the kind of things that I think I, I think it's important that you don't tell your parents about it till it gets really, really bad. And if, like, my son is my best friend, and I always tell him that, my dear baby, your mother is your first girlfriend. So whatever it is, whatever problem you have, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling down, you've had a fight with somebody, come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. He's in adolescent now. He's just 14 years old. So they have a lot of problems now. So it's important to come and talk to the mother. And the mother is the best friend always. The mother will be a mother no matter what happens. I always told him that if you come and do the worst thing in the world also, and you come and tell your mom, she will still be your mom. She will never be the other mom. She'll always be your mom. She will always be
That's
by your side, and she'll always be your best friend and your first girlfriend. What do you
I
say?
feel like people more than being a like an entrepreneur or a motivational speaker. I think you're a wonderful human being and a wonderful woman. I will say, and a wonderful mother, of course. Like I have a full belief on you, the way you are speaking to me right now. And one thing I would just like to add on from my side, like you have said, like ऑब्जर्व योरसेल्फ जब आप किसी फ्लाइट पकड़ते हो तो जो एयर होस्टेस बोलते हैं कि जब वो मास्क है वो पहले अपने आप के निकाला और फिर दूसरों को पहनाना so one thing it just reminded me one of the line from the school prayer हमारे वहाँ तो नहीं होता था but I have seen people singing that humming that song it's like हमको मन की शक्ति देना जय विजय करे दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद की जय करें like praising yourself and accepting yourself and loving yourself first before you love other people and I think this is one of the most beautiful aspects of mental health accepting yourself the way you are and finding out positivity and sharing love and happiness with each another and listening to people is really really important like whenever I get so sad or I get into some emotional like ups and downs I know that I don't have much people in my life who like I would say much friends I would say there are very few number of friend circle I have there are one or two or three four something like that but I know that if I get into some problem, if I get into some trouble, I need to share someone. They are with me. They
Yes.
are with me. I call them up and I say, I need to talk to you. And the same thing is that my friends, they also do the same with me. Like whenever they say, Honya, उनको बोलना भी जरूरी नहीं होता that friend she just sends me Honya and I understand okay she needs to talk and I say okay I'm getting you back मेरे से बात करो
Okay. Holia, the second question by your friend, I think that was like, at what point do I know that I am depressed, right? That was
yes
one
yes yes
question.
yes
If you're feeling really, really sad and you have this feeling that what I felt when in 2009, when I was talking about my incident, is that when I was feeling absolutely devastated and I wanted to go kill myself, I knew I was a very depressed person. I knew that, I was totally sad about what's happening in my life. I think, when you reach a point where you don't feel that anything is nice around you, nothing is nice, and you start hating yourself. I was really hating myself because I'd put on weight and become around 90 kilos or something. And then I was really disliking myself. So I think it is like that, when you reach that point where you dislike yourself, you don't like anything around you, please talk to a friend. I would suggest that for depression and for mental health issues, please talk to a friend. Don't go and do anything drastic because your life is so precious. When I say that
yeah
the air hostess says put on this thing first, she is actually telling you love yourself. She is actually telling
yeah
you love yourself first and then talk about loving others. Because there are many
mm.
times when young girls, they will come and tell me, ma'am, I love this boy so much, I will die for him. I said, look, don't tell me all these things, huh? Nobody will die for anyone. Please don't die for anyone. Live for yourself. Please live for yourself. Live with him happy and don't die for him.
Mm.
Live with him, love him as much as you want, but don't die. So there's no point dying. Once you're dead, once you close your eyes, your breath is gone. You're gone. You're finished. And then there's this beauty of this life is gone. You cannot do so many things. My God, there's a universe of things we got to do. And how can we just snuff out our life like that?
Yeah.
Impossible. I can't think of doing that.
Yeah, that is so true. I think one very important thing I would just like to add on with Tinat, like Hanno Tamar, who is watching me right now. I would just say that if ever you feel like this is the end of my life, just remember that there are so many people who get inspired by your story.
Yes.
So you are something, and you need to value yourself. Until unless you value yourself, nobody is gonna do that. And like हम इतने मुश्किल से इस दुनिया में आए हैं. Our mothers and our parents, they have made so much of labor, and the only thing is that we need to value ourselves. We need to find the purpose of our life, and rather investing so much of time in understanding other people. So I remember that even in this, like, especially at people of my age, what I observe, Teenat, is that like coming to the point of, especially in terms of relationship, I would say coming to this point, I am excited to talk about with you, sir. Since you are a mother, you got married, and you have experienced a way back, so many experiences. Like people of my age, I've seen many people getting into like toxic relationships, and many of the people, they don't know what kind of partner they want, and they get into like boyfriends, the girlfriends, in a relationship. And one thing when I asked them, what are you doing? What are you doing? What kind of partner do you want? Kind of partner do you manifest for? So the only answer that I get from them is like, I don't know. I don't know. Then I said, do you know yourself? Then they say, no, I don't know myself. Then I say, if you do not know yourself, then how would you know what kind of partner do you want? So, so Tina, like, would you like to say anything about the right choice of the concept of perfect relationship, the concept of perfect partner, since you have been gone through these phases of life?
Yeah,
And especially,
wow.
especially for the people who feel like, अरे यार, अगर वो मुझे नहीं मिला तो फिर मेरा जिंदगी तो बेकार है.
Yes,
I'm gonna die or something like that. It actually happens. Like it
it's
is on a
happened.
very serious note. It feels like really funny. For me,
Yes.
it's really funny because I don't believe on this kind of a thing. I never depend. I never consider my happiness dependent on other people. So, yes, would you like to say something on it?
Honya, your last sentence that my happiness does not depend on others is such a beautiful thing. And I salute you, woman, because, such a strong woman at your age, you're such a young girl, and you saying that, when I go back to your age, I did have a boyfriend, and I made a mistake. I'm a one man woman kind of a person. Okay, so sorry. I'm a one man woman. So I just like to, be in love with one man, marry him, and stay there for the rest of my life. So when I was in college, I remember I fell in love with this guy. I don't know if it was love because at that time it's very difficult to understand what is love because we are small and we are young and we are immature. I will say I was immature at that point of time. I'm not saying for everyone else, not for you, but for me, I was pretty immature. I did not know what was good, what was bad, what's a good relationship, what's relationship at all. I never understood. But I had this relationship, and I was totally in love with this guy. So whatever he would ask me to do, I would do that. Wherever he would ask me to go, I would go there, and all these things. But then I realized that he was actually taking drugs, and and somebody came and told me about this. But I was so in love with him that I was blinded by this whole thing. And it was my cousin who came and told me, and he said, "This guy." you are not, you shouldn't be moving on with this guy because he's not worth you. You know, he's such a worthless fellow. And I said, how dare you say things like that? He's not a drug addict. Come on. And I was like, I just wouldn't believe anybody. My mother was angry because I was going around with him. I was having a relationship with him, and my mother said, uh, and I was hell bent on getting married to him as well. Then I realized that, you know, at you know, at the, I think it was at the 11th hour of my life, when, you know, I was about to almost get married or something like that, and my mom and all were very angry. My mom and dad were furious with me and all. So, but and then my mom said one thing. She said, "Are you Mother Teresa? Or are you out there to, you know, do good for everyone?" And I said, no, he's not a bad guy. He's got a bad habit. He's a drug addict. He's not a bad guy. And he said, why do you need to marry him at all? But at the 11th hour, some divine, you know, some kind of thought came into me. And I said, no, if I do this, my parents will be unhappy. My cousins will be unhappy because they came and talked to me as well. My friends will be unhappy. Everyone will be very, very unhappy with me. And I cannot afford to have a relationship and putting aside all the people who love me and have a relationship and, you know, go and stay with him. I'll not be able to do this. So I backed out. That was my first relationship in my life. And then you were talking about permanent relationships. And then many years later, when like, you know, I decided, no, enough is enough. I don't like these men. You know, these men are horrible. I'm not going to get married. And I told my mom, I'm out of this marriage thing. Don't ever get me married. I am not going to get married to anyone. And हम कभी किसी के साथ शादी नहीं करेंगे. हम तो ऐसे ही रहेंगे. कभी शादी नहीं करेंगे. So my mom said, my God, this guy, look at him. He has left you. He has got married. He's got kids. And my daughter here is going to be a saint. She's not going to marry anyone. She's going to be a saint. Wow, great. So my mom was always very critical about me. So what happened? Well, my present husband, my present, as if I have 10 husbands, you know, I'm saying that. My husband, when I met him, I found him very simple, very down to earth. And the one thing, Honia, that he told me is, you know what? I have a lot of knowledge, but I don't have money. And that kind of made me fall in love with this guy. And I said, my God, he's so truthful. I mean, money we can always make all our lives, but knowledge is something that I can live with. Because if I got married to a man who was speaking to me only about money and cars and how many houses he has and all those things, okay, I got married, suppose I got married to the richest guy in the world. But suppose he was talking only about that, it would be so boring. But now, with my husband, I wake up in the morning and with our tea, I think we speak for around 2 to 3 hours in the morning. We speak about the universe. He's a master's in physics. So he talks about this, about space, about politics, about beauty, about makeup, about the colors I should wear, all kinds of things. He has about medicine, about agriculture, about horticulture, and, you know, all kinds of things that we talk about. And that makes a man very interesting. So whenever I see a young girl who is in love with a boy who has, you know, he has a lot of money, fine, he has a lot of money, he has, you know, his parents has a lot of money and all that, and she's married, but at the end of the day, she comes back and tells me, you know what, ma'am, I'm not happy because we hardly have any conversation. He's only talking about money.
Yeah, that's
He's only talking about cars, how many cars he's going to buy. But then the knowledge part that we were interested in, that is gone. So my take on life is that, and for young people, for both the men and the women, marry someone intelligent. Marry people who are intelligent and who have that gray matter. It is important to have gray matter because in life it is not always money, it is not always about riches and how many buildings and things you have, but it is about the knowledge. Even if there's a nuclear war, knowledge will still be alive. So that is how I
yeah.
think
I think that
I married the best man in the world because even now he's with my father in the pandemic. I'm with my son and my husband is with my father. He's looking after my father. So he'll call me up and he said, he will keep saying, so have you read that book? Have you have taken that medicine? Have you done? So he's so caring. From the other end, he would be, telling me that, have you had your medicines? Are you reading this book? Are you preparing for your exams? So it's important to be with a caring person. And he told me one thing. My husband, when he married me, he told me one thing. It is very important to marry the man or the woman who loves you, and not vice versa.
Yeah.
I love that man.
Mm.
But the man, does he love me? I don't know. So I am totally in love with this Amitabh Bachchan looking man or Arnold Schwarzenegger man, but I don't know if he loves me. So it is
Mm.
important for every girl and every boy to think twice before they get married. Does this girl love me? Or do I love this girl? So it is important like that, so to have a good relationship.
Yeah, I think I am absolutely so deeply and humbly happy for you, Tina. And I really manifest for the same kind of a partner in my life. I remember that
I'll
I
pray
asked
for
one
you.
friend, like,
I'll pray for
yeah,
you.
thank you so much. So I remember that I asked one person, like, how do we know that this person is the right person for you? You say it's a soulmate, right? And how do we know that? And by the entire process of spirituality and meditation, I used to read so many books and used to read about the energy and the kind of energy one can feel from the other people. I remember that person saying it to me, like, list out list out the qualities that you want in your partner. List out the qualities and your, as per the priority, like, the first, this should be the first priority, and second, this has to be like that. And list out the numbers of qualities that you want in your partner, and then adopt that quality in yourself first. Adopt that quality in yourself first, and then you manifest for it. And I remember that, I think, whosoever I had in my conversation, people of my age, I always ask them, like, what kind of partner do you want? And because I have seen them getting into so much of depression and so much of, they are just playing around with the future. They have so many things to explore, meeting people, traveling, अरे यार लोगों से मिलो, नई चीजें करो, so many things, but they are just hiding themselves back inside a room just because they have gone through some breakup, or, and I feel so sad for them. And I just, I feel like I am not, the process of me finding this soulmate or something, it is so long. I feel like it's going to be a long process, but I am personally so clear. I have a clear vision about what kind of partner that I would want at this age of time. And the first thing, it has to be like, that person has to be spiritual.
Yeah.
That person has to be spiritual, like, because without that, I cannot compromise. That has to be like that. And I think like the entire conversation is went from motivation to now is girl to girl talk. It is just happening online.
Nice, nice. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah. So I think like many of the people, they got through the meaning about the mental health, and how do we know that, and what are the things that we need to do? Okay, let me just ask you, like, if a person is going through some kind of depression or some kind of mental health, what are the things that person has to take, like, the measures, or what are the things that person should do to overcome from that depression?
Okay. You're asking as if I'm the doctor. Okay, Dr. Tinat. I have become the doctor now.
Yeah, Dr.
You're seriously asking me too many questions on depression as if I'm the expert. Um, uh, I, I wouldn't know about this. Yeah, yeah. Can you tell me about this question again? I need to hear this again. The question. Can you tell me
Yeah,
this
I was
question
just
again?
thinking, supposedly a person, they get into a mental health or some depression or some anxiety. So what are the things they should do to overcome from it?
First of all, if they're really, it's really, really bad. I mean, for me, it was different. I talked to my own self because I had nobody to talk to. When it really gets, the anxiety and the trauma and the depression got terrible for me. I did not have anything to do, but I talked to my husband. But my husband kind of ignored the whole thing that, I needed somebody to talk to. He is a very casual person, he's a gaubura type of person, and he will always say, it's okay, just leave everything aside and do this, do that. But I feel that people who are really, it really agitates them, and they are very, very anxious, and they think they don't have anyone to talk to, they definitely need to see a doctor. They need to see an expert, because hearing from us like this, that you need to listen and you need to talk to your friends and all, I think it doesn't work. At the end of the day, again, after you've talked to your friends and you're still feeling anxious and you're still feeling depressed and traumatized, then I think you need to go a psychiatrist, to go to a psychologist, because a psychologist will actually make you sit down, listen to your story carefully, maybe recommend some medicines. I have some friends who are actually, they are critical patients, and they are taking medicines for the depression. So if somebody is very, very anxious and very, very depressed about the whole thing, they need to see a doctor, definitely.
Hmm. Yeah, that is, I think like this is so helpful for the people who have just commented like, am I depressed? Or I think like so many people have just joined in, and so I think like this session was not just motivating or about your mental health, but it was more like a personal conversation, and we had so much of girl to girl talk online
Yes.
as well. That usually people do in a closed room.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah. So the people who have just joined, and I think like thank you so much. I think I see so many people commenting, like Omto is saying, I think I am awesome. Since you said like I am the best, so Omto has
Yes,
commented, I think I am awesome.
you are, you
And
are.
somebody say, edit, please support Konya ji. Thank you so much. And some Sundaran has given a big heart. Dipti has also given a thumbs up and a big heart. And Dipti is also actually saying exactly the way you have talked about the depression. I think many of the people, and Admirat is also giving up a big just chill out symbol and saying keep up. So I think that we got a really amazing session, and I would like to tell people that Tina, she is also a poet and she writes beautifully. So since we are running out of the time, but I would just like request Tina she if she would share something, some few beautiful words written by her to the audience as well.
More than poetry, I think I'm going to share some of my paintings. Like some of you are saying that, what will we do when we are overwhelmed, when we are feeling depressed and sad? You know what I do? I will tell you what, my friends, what I do. This is my iPad, and what I do here, I make the daily goals. I make all the goals throughout the day, and starting from 5:30 in the morning to evening 11. So why do I do it? Is because I want to keep myself busy all the time, Honia, all the time, so that there is no space for that depression or that those thoughts of sadness or traumatizing thoughts to come into my brain. I never even allow even a single chance. What do I do in the morning? I get up. I say I'm the best. I do my prayers. I do my meditation. I do my, and then after that, I do my yoga. Then I do something called, it's a kriya, that I do a deep breathing exercise. And then after that, I read. I read at least 4 to 5 books. I read 4 to 5 books, and the one book that I want everyone to see is, you should read this book,
Yeah. Five steps, fear, and
Self Doubt.
uh, oh, 5 steps to overcome, no? Overcoming
Yes,
fear and self-doubt. So
I,
beautiful.
I,
I'm going
I
to read that book very,
you
very,
should
very,
read
very
this.
fast.
You should read this book. You should read this book.
Mm,
This is
Hmm.
a wonderful book. I just finished this. So I was telling you that I read these 5 books. After reading, I do a lot of dancing. After my dancing, I do a lot of exercise. I do my aerobics and I do my weight exercise. So where is the time to feel depressed? And then I do my breakfast,
Hmm.
I do my cooking, I do my cleaning. And then in the afternoon, after a little nap, I go read my papers. I start walking again for another 3 to 4 kilometers. I run also, and then in the evening I'll spend my time with my son, his studies, and so many things. And in between, what I had done a couple of paintings, so I wanted to show all of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah, I can see. What is it? I'm not even able to understand.
This is just a random it's a thing, random painting, so it's just my thoughts. Then
Ah,
these are some of my paintings that I had done.
ah. Oh
These are
wow, this is beautiful. This one.
nice.
Yeah, this is
So
beautiful.
recent ones that I had done was this one.
Ah.
These come
What
in.
made you to?
What made me to do these?
Mm,
These comes in
yeah,
three.
yeah, because I have seen.
This comes like this in 3 paintings. I mean, 3 paintings come together. So
Mm,
no, I'm saying that, if you give space to your thoughts, and if you give space to depression, it will come and eat you up.
mm,
But if you give yourself
mm,
space to do all these creative works, it is not
mm,
going to it's not going to eat you up. And so I would like also to show you
mm.
my first poetry book. This is my first poetry book.
Ah, that is so beautiful, Tinat Masood. I would definitely read it. Where can I get it from Amazon?
I will keep a copy for you. I will keep a copy for you. And
Thank you so much.
this
Thank
is
you so much.
this is
That is
my
the
first
best.
how do I show this? This is my first the poem, The Addict. So
Would you
it's
like to please read the first two,
you
three lines
want me to read this?
for the
Okay,
audience? Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
read
yeah,
it.
please.
I'll read it for you.
Mhm.
The Addict. She walked through the college campus, lonely and disarrayed, the knowing faces unknown, the heat penetrating, a hush. Her thighs clad in denims, a cotton shirt hung loose. In her pocket, a ballpoint, a gift of love. Her eyes sought the only one, her face burned through. In her hands, she held one a poppy, one a lily. Her vision blurred. She stretched her hands to touch the little girl in a pink pinafore. To give her the lily, alas, a gargantuan darkness. The lily fell to be crushed by the sands of time. So, Honia, you can see this book actually has all my poems, which are recorded when I was 18 years old. The poems that I write now are more for humanity. They are more for people. These were all love poems, when I was in love, and writing about Mother Teresa, about Russia, about my country, about different things. But the poems that during the COVID period that I have written, these are all, about humanity, about the migrant labors, about the kind of hardship that people are facing, about the kind of hardship the country is going through. So my poetry from this book to where it is now, it is totally different. My second book is going to come through after the COVID is over. My second book is already with the publisher. It's going to come through. So, and I'm going to give you one of my books. So this is what.
Yeah, I am sending all my blessings and love to you, Tina. I wish that your message, your wisdom, it reaches to thousands and millions of people across the world. And
Thank
I deeply send so much of love to you and coming to the sessions. And I love this session personally. And I think Frizzy Penguin is saying, I love this session and giving a big heart. Thank you so much. And Pradeep Pradeep Beauty is saying, nice to hear both of you, Hunya. So I think like thank you so much everybody who has joined, and we have spoken like I think more than 1 hour. And still it feels like carrying on the conversation because there's so many things to ask, but
True.
because of the lack of time, and we have to wind up the session over here. But I would just like to thank each one of you for coming here. And Tinat, you are so beautiful. Thank you so much for sending all the beautiful wisdom. And with the people who have joined, I would just like to tell you guys about Umeed campaign for COVID is a campaign where we are going to raise funds for the needy people. And how are we going to do? Is through this live learning experience where we're going to connect with speakers across India and world, and would bring us so much of positivity and happiness for you all live on YouTube and Facebook in collaboration with freebirds.co. Please do donate whichever possible amount you can, and you can and you can my friend, she is just looking at me and making me laugh. So please donate it in the description below. The link is in the description below, and also you can find on the screen. Please do donate whichever possible amount you can. It would mean a lot to us. And Tina, any last wisdom that you wish to share it to our audience?
I would like to heartily thank Honia for actually calling me to this beautiful program, and I really hope that your Umeed campaign carries off super fast, and it really does very good. You get a lot of donations, and you can work your heart out for all the COVID people that you have been wanting to work for. And I would like to thank you, and I would also like to thank free birds, because free birds are the free birds. They are really free, and they are the birds that I love to know. Yes, I love to know these free birds. They are really awesome people, and I thank them because they have got their hands in so many pies that sometimes I always think I should tell them that you actually deserve not 24 hours but more than that. You probably need more, because one day is not enough for you to work everything out. They are such intelligent and such wonderful people from Freebirds. Thank you, Freebirds, and thank you, Honia. Thank you for actually coming up with this wonderful campaign. If it wasn't you, we wouldn't have been doing this program. And a big clap for you, because you deserve a standing ovation. You deserve a standing ovation. And for all the people who are watching us, please you can see that there is a donation. There's a link out there. Please donate as much as you can. You donate for small causes, but this is a huge cause. It's a huge cause, and please donate. I would not say donate whatever you can. Donate as much as you can. So I don't won't say donate whatever, but donate as much as you can with all your heart, because this is going to give hope to a lot of people. The Umeed campaign. Thank you, Holia, and thank
Yeah.
you, birds.
Thank you so much, Tina. That was so sweet of you. And I'll see you and catch you out behind the scene after the session. And we meet again in one of our own online class. Again with
Sure.
Rebirth. And I think that if you are watching us, we are going to meet you guys very soon. And I think like this session was really wonderful, and one of my favorite sessions that I had out of all of them. And thank you so much, Tina. I can't express my gratitude to you. And I wish all the good luck. And I'm sending my prayers and love. And please do support Tina as well. And also, anybody wants to get in touch with Tina, then please do. I will put her link in the description below. And please, anybody wants have a little query about her NGO, or want to get involved in the team or in the family of hashtag I am the best, then I will put the link in the description. Please do visit, and I'll see you guys another tomorrow. No, I'll see you guys on 15th with a bumper performance. Bumper performance coming Mumbai, Dharavi slum, and I am so excited. I'll see you guys very soon. Till then, bye.